Manually typing anything into Google Sheets or Google Docs was so 3 years ago. That's why I came up with an invoice processing workflow. But I want you to know that this is two separate workflows, but I'm only putting them together here for the sake of demonstration purposes. But let's start with the bottom workflow first. I'm just going to deactivate this. Alright, so for the bottom workflow, you can see it says for PDF invoices. So this is an example of an online PDF invoice. So here it says issued to Rick Sanchez. His address is 123 Angel Street, Sin City. Invoice number is INV00023. The date is 10/6/2025, and what he bought was the email assistant workflow, which is $100, the invoice processor workflow, which is also $100. The subtotal is $200 plus 10% tax. The total is $220. So that's our PDF invoice. So as you can see, this is a Google Drive trigger, and it says invoice folder upload. So in my Google Drive here, I have a folder called invoice demo, which is where we're supposed to upload our PDF invoice into. So I'm gonna do just that. All right, I'm gonna drag my invoice into here. All right, so we have our invoice uploaded into the Google Drive folder. Next, we wanna go back to our workflow and click on execute workflow. Okay, it's working. It's going through Google Sheets. We got a new invoice alert from our invoice bot. It says the invoice number is INV0023. Client name is Rick Sanchez. Client address is 123 Angel Street, Sin City. Products bought, invoice processor workflow, email assistant workflow. Total amount is $220. The invoice date is 10/6/2025. Check email for more details, and this is the database link, which I misspelled. Alright, first, let's check our email. So in our email, we got a new email from Ippo. It says invoice summary for Rick Sanchez. Let's check the email. It says, dear billing team, please find the below summary details inside the recent invoice issued. This is the same invoice information that our Telegram bot gave us. And down here it says we also updated this invoice in the database. You can view it here. So we're gonna click on this link, and this is the database right here. And let's just make sure we have the correct information. So we have the invoice number here. Yes, 0023, correct. The client name is Rick Sanchez. Invoice date is 10/6/2025. Client address is 123 Angel Street, Sin City. Correct. Products bought, invoice processor workflow, email system workflow. Yep, and the total amount is $220, which is right here. So what this workflow just did is that it extracted the information from our invoice PDF and automatically updated our invoice database, as well as sent us an email and also a notification through Telegram. Alright, next, let's test the top workflow out. So I'm just going to deactivate this and activate the top workflow. The top workflow is essentially the same as the bottom workflow, but instead of for PDF invoices, the workflow above is strictly for scanned or image invoices. So here for the trigger, we have a Telegram trigger, which I set to update on messages, and it's connected to our invoice bot. So I'm going to send a picture of a receipt that I took to this invoice bot. But first, let's click on execute workflow, and now I'm going to send it a picture. Okay, our workflow is running. Okay, we got a new invoice alert. It says invoice number OTV004567. 67. Client name, Beth Sanchez. The client address is Wubba Lubba Unlimited, 123 Homer Simpson Street. Products bought is Reddit Summarizer Workflow, YouTube Shorts Workflow. The total amount is $880. The invoice date is on 12/6/2025, and it says check email for more details. Let's check our email. Okay, a new invoice summary for Beth Sanchez from Ippo. It says, dear billing team, please find below the summary details of the recent invoice issued. This is the information of the invoice, and this is the spreadsheet again. Let's click on the spreadsheet. So here's a picture that I sent it. It's very low quality, very blurry, but it still extracted the right information from the invoice. Let's verify the information. So here, the invoice number is OTV004567. It's the same. The client name is Beth Sanchez. Client address is Wubba Lubba Unlimited, 123 Homer. It's the same. The invoice date is 12/6/2025. Products bought, Reddit Summarizer Workflow, YouTube Shorts Workflow. Yes. And total amount is $880. Yeah, so the information it extracted out from our blurry ass picture is correct. But yeah, this is pretty much how the invoice processing workflow works. But now let's take a deeper look into the system. As you can see, for the bottom half of the workflow, it's exactly identical. The key difference here lies in the trigger. So for PDF invoices, it makes more sense for me to upload a file to a Google Drive folder. So how the Google Drive trigger work is, every time we upload an invoice into this folder, the invoice will then get downloaded, and then all the information in the invoice will be extracted into text by this OneNote. And then the information from the invoice that was turned into text will be then extracted by this information extractor, which is powered by an OpenAI chat model. In this case, it's GPT-4o Mini. And inside the information extractor, as you can see, I gave it an invoice number, client name, invoice date, client address, products bought, total amount, and its respective description. And for the prompt, says, you are an invoice reader AI. Extract the following fields from this invoice image or PDF. So we ask it to extract the invoice number, the vendor name, the amount, invoice date, and due date. And down here it says, return the data as JSON object with keys, invoice number, vendor name, amount, invoice date, and due date. And it gave us exactly what we want right here. This information then gets updated in our Google Sheets. Right here, just drag the schemas to its respective fields like this. And after it finished updating our spreadsheet, it will then send an email to ippobrandscaling, aka us. And this is the template message that I wrote. Pretty simple one. As you can see, include all the key information and also the link to our spreadsheet to double check. And lastly, it will send us a message through Telegram. So for this one, in order to trigger the workflow, we need to upload a file into our Google Drive folder. Whereas for scanned documents or image invoices, we just need to send a picture to the invoice bot. And then what will happen is the image will then get uploaded to Mistral via HTTP request. So what these three Mistral node does is basically the same thing that this node does, which is to extract the information from our invoice into text. And as you can see here, for the output of the get OCR results, we have the invoice number is issued to Beth Sanchez. And then the workflow works as how I explained it before. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the invoice processing workflow showcase. It's nothing too crazy, was quick to build, but also a bit frustrating for this one. But yeah, if you like the video, leave a like. You know, if you have any questions, leave a comment, or you could just read the description and send me an email. But yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya.